Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler video series of videos I do for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that, time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. This is also my dinner, so hooray me. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? What happens to be my cold shirt. One of a few that I have. What is cold, though, besides, obviously, the feeling of cold? Cold is a band that has actually been around for quite a long time. If you're like me, you probably discovered them in the, late 90s to early 2000s. That was really sort of when they broke through. They had a association with the members of Limp Bizkit, who, kind of put them in touch with the right people. That's when they had their albums 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage and Year of the Spider. Both excellent albums. But they actually go way back further than that. They came out in the 80s. They were originally a band called Grundig. And, basically they just kind of, did their thing for a while until, again, just eventually those opportunities came along and they capitalized on them. And that's when I got into them. And I was pretty much an instant fan. Like, the first song I heard from them, I just fell in love, thought they were badass. And then a few years ago when they just started to go over there and start doing tours again, I was all into it. And I've seen them perform live a number of times now. I actually have videos of said performances on my channel, just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction as far as their music goes, because I think they're an incredible band. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? It's my dinner, eh? Yes, indeed, folks. So I was out and about. I had to grab some supplies. And I was kind of like, all right, I had an idea of something that I wanted to grab, but it was a little bit of a trek. And I was like, well, so I start looking around in the supermarket that I'm at, buying my supplies. And I happen to be at a supermarket that's a local supermarket chain to Illinois called Jewel or Jewel-Osco, depending on kind of where you're at. And, I found something. What is it? I sure hope I like it, and I know I will, because it's a big old bucket of chicken. This is a bucket of their chicken wings. They have like a little, sort of, pre-prepared fresh food kind of area thing. I've reviewed some stuff from there before. I've reviewed plenty of stuff from Jewel at this point. I have not had their chicken wings in quite a while. It's been a bit. But this is something I remember getting with my dad frequently, back when he was still around. That was something he would go over there and pick up and, just have a good old time with it. So, chicken. And by the way, since this is from Jewel, and Jewel is a local Illinois establishment, this is going to go on my Eating Out Illinois playlist, which is a playlist for just Illinois spots. So, let's get a thing for the thing here, and we got a thing for the thing, and we'll kind of like, we'll do it like that, yeah. Ha 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 ha! Chicken. Oh yeah. That's that Jewel chicken flavor. No chicken wings taste quite like Jewel chicken. It's a very distinct flavor. And it's one of those things I could see either loving it or hating it, but I've never met anybody who hates it. So, it's really nice. It's got like a little bit of a pepperiness to it, almost spicy, but like, not spicy, but it kind of tickles the back of your throat a little bit. The chicken itself is nice and tender. The exterior, it's kind of, I don't know if this is a result of, because it's in the bucket, and it's just kind of sitting there for a little bit. Or if it's just the way, because, I don't think I've ever had their chicken any other way. It's not really like a crispy exterior, It's a little bit softer, kind of more along the lines of KFC original recipe. Think that kind of texture to it. So if you're a fan of the crispiness, unfortunately, I don't know, maybe they have a crispy version, but I've never seen it. But, although I do tend to prefer crispier chicken, I'm not gonna lie. I love me some Jewel chicken. It has so much flavor to it. And again, it's such a unique flavor. Like, it's, I've had plenty of chicken wings, folks. Like, I've reviewed plenty of chicken wings. I've reviewed chicken wings from Wingstop, from Buffalo Wild Wings, from Fry-In Wings, all kinds of places. And nothing tastes quite like Jewel. And it's tasted like that for years. Whatever recipe they're using, I am personally a fan. It's nice, it's meaty, it's chickeny. It's not rough or anything like that. It's not hard to eat. And like I said, about the only real criticism I could levy against it, if I was going to levy it against it, would be that, typically I do prefer crispier skin. But for something like this, and maybe it's just the nostalgia speaking, because again, I have been eating this, God, at least since probably middle school, I want to say, maybe earlier. There's just something about it, it just hits really nice. And it's really tasty, and it makes me want to eat a lot of it. Good thing I got a big-ass bucket. The bucket was like a little over $15, so, not too bad. Not cheap, but yeah, like, it's just good flavor. Like I said, I like the kind of peppery hit that it has to it. Gives a little extra personality to it. And it's just... Oh! These are their hot wings. That makes sense. Because I was kind of wondering to myself, I was like, yeah, their wings tend to have a little bit of a little something extra to it. But I'm kind of like in my head, I'm like, these are seeming, a little bit spicier than usual. But part of me was like, well, sometimes you just get that one wing that's a little bit seasoned more than the other ones. But yeah, no, these are actually their hot wings. Okie doke. Well, then I can speak as somebody who, I don't know that I've ever had their hot wings before, but I can say they still retain a lot of those signature qualities that I like so much about their chicken wings, but just with that added kick to it. And actually, I really like that. I like spicy stuff, so, yeah, it's really nice. Like, as hot wings, they're certainly not the hottest, but, like I said, they do get a little something at the back of your throat. It gives you a little something extra to think about. Excuse me. That wasn't intentional. But two questions have to be asked. Excuse me. Would I get him again? Would I recommend him? And in this instance, I'm talking specifically about the hot wings, apparently. I mean, I have to go with yes and yes. Like I said, call it nostalgia, call it, whatever you want. But yeah, and I guess technically not even nostalgia on this one, because again, I'm doing the hot wings, not the original recipe ones. I mean, yeah, man, I just, like I said, there's something that, for me, it harkens back to simpler times. There's no denying that. But at the end of the day, like I said, the chicken is really tender, it's really flavorful, and, again, crispy skin aside, that's about the only thing. Everything else I really, really like, and yeah, man, I'm down with it. Now, I will say this. If it was between the hot wings and the original recipe ones, I do think I would probably go the original recipe ones, because, again, just a little bit more of that added familiarity. But as hot wings go, I do actually like these too, so they're nice. I like them. Call me crazy. If I'm recommending them, though, yeah, man, and I think that, if you're anybody who lives in Illinois, you're probably familiar with Jewel. Although, to be fair, I don't know how widespread Jewel is in Illinois, but I've seen plenty of them every place I've ever lived. I mean, you probably have had some of their chicken wings. I don't know anybody who hasn't picked up a bucket on occasion. And there is something kind of special about them. And if you are one of those people, maybe you haven't before, again, they're not the best chicken wings you're ever going to have, but they're tasty, they're good. You get a shitload of them in a bucket for about $15. And, if you like some hot wings, they got a little bit of heat to them. So, I'm still going to recommend them. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go have yourselves a truly chicken wing-tastic rest of your life. Because who doesn't like chicken wings? Except for people who don't like chicken wings. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But Well, you do if can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, do you have any nostalgic foods for you? You know, things that, you know, just, again, they bring you back to a simpler time, you know, things like that. You know, I think most of us, if not all of us, do. You know, it's something that food is such a universal thing for so many people. Even if you're not like a foodie per se, or, you know, that type of person, usually, you know, somebody's got that little extra favorite here or there. So I'd be interested to hear what yours happen to be. But anyway,